You do it 20,000 times a day. You never think about it. You have been doing it since the moment you arrived in this world. And almost every single time, you do it wrong. Breathing, the most automatic thing your body does. The thing that requires zero thought. Except it turns out it requires all three. And the way most modern humans breathe is quietly, invisibly damaging their health. This is not about meditation. This is not about yoga. This is about what happened to your airways over the last 10,000 years, why your skull literally changed shape, and why the breath you just took was probably the wrong kind entirely. Breathe in right now. Notice what moved. If your chest rose, you are doing it wrong. If your shoulders lifted, you are doing it wrong. If your belly stayed completely still, you are doing it wrong. The vast majority of people breathe this way their entire lives and have no idea. Correct breathing looks like this. Your belly expands first. Then your lower ribs flare slightly. Your chest rises last, if at all. Your shoulders never move. And you do it through your nose, not your mouth, every single time. That last part is the part that will surprise you. Mouth breathing, which an enormous percentage of modern humans do, especially at night, is something your ancestors almost never did. And researchers are starting to understand how much damage it causes. James Nestor spent years investigating the science of breath, drawing on work from pulmonologist John Deweyard, Stanford professor Jayakar Bhatt, and decades of largely ignored studies. What he found was a consensus hiding in plain sight. The way we breathe has changed, and the change is making us sick. Your nose is not just a hole in your face. It filters, warms, and humidifies air. It produces nitric oxide, a molecule that dilates blood vessels and increases oxygen uptake. When you breathe through your mouth, you bypass all of it. You are switching off a system evolution spent millions of years perfecting. So why do so many people breathe through their mouths? The answer starts in your skull. For most of human prehistory, your ancestors ate hard, tough, minimally processed food. They chewed constantly. And all that chewing stressed the bones of the jaw, keeping it wide, keeping the nasal airways open and spacious. Then agriculture arrived. Food got soft, the chewing got easier, and the jaw started to shrink. Physical anthropologist Robert Corrucini documented this in detail, comparing pre-agricultural skulls to modern ones. Narrower jaws, lower palates, crowded teeth, smaller nasal passages. Your wisdom teeth hurt because your jaw is too small to fit them. That is not a genetic flaw. That is a dietary consequence. When the jaw narrows, the nasal passages narrow with it. Breathing through them becomes harder, so you start breathing through your mouth, and then the problems compound. Sleep apnea, snoring, chronic fatigue, anxiety, poor concentration. Researcher Christian Guilleminault at Stanford spent decades connecting these symptoms to one root cause, again and again. The simple mechanical reality of how air moves in and out of a compressed airway. Carbon dioxide is the villain your body has completely misidentified. Most people believe you breathe to bring in oxygen. That is true, but the trigger that makes you want to breathe is not low oxygen. It is rising carbon dioxide. And here is the counterintuitive part. CO2 is the molecule that tells your red blood cells to release oxygen to your tissues. Without enough of it, oxygen clings to red blood cells and never gets delivered. You can be breathing constantly and still be starved of oxygen at the cellular level. Physician Konstantin Buteyko built an entire therapeutic system around this in the 1950s. He taught patients to breathe less, not more, to let CO2 rise, to retrain the body's panic threshold. Breathing less feels like suffocation. But that feeling is a miscalibration, not a danger. And fixing it changes everything. Tonight, when you fall asleep, your jaw will probably drop open. You will breathe through your mouth for 8 hours. You will wake up slightly dehydrated, slightly foggy, and not know why. But now you know. The thing you do most, the thing running so silently you stop noticing it, shapes your energy, your focus, your sleep, your face, and your health more than almost anything else you do. You do it 20,000 times a day. And now, at least once, you did it right.